Hello again and welcome back to Storm Talk. Today we're going to be looking at Arthas's patch 18.0 rework. Yeah, I totally didn't screw that up. Okay, so this is a basic rework. I'm not going to go into a lot of details. I will be looking at his new talents, and yeah. So we're not going to do any of the stats. We're not going to do any of the outfits. It's Arthas. We've looked at him. He's got new ones, but we've looked at them. We're good. So let's go ahead and take a look at his talents. At level 1, block. We don't want to talk about this. No one likes block. Everybody I go against takes block for some reason, and I don't know why half the time. If you're a warrior, sure, it's fine. But for a lot of characters, block is just so bad. It's like, okay, 75% damage stores 2 charges every 5 seconds, or up to, and 1 every 5 seconds. Okay, that's a little bit nice. Stops you from getting shot in the butt by like a Nova or a Vala, but abilities don't. It doesn't reduce abilities or anything like that. It's just so bland. However, we do have a new questing talent, Eternal Hunger. Your Frostborn Hungers, whenever you use it on an enemy hero, increases the mana it restores by 4 up to 40. Once you've used it 10 times on heroes, it also increases the damage bonus by 25%. Now, do remember his primary ability, Frostborn Hungers. Activate. It does 100% of your damage and gives you 30 mana. So this changes it to doing 125% of your damage and doing 70 mana. That should not have taken me so long. And then Frost Presence. Howling Blast's cooldown is reduced by 6 seconds whenever it hits an enemy hero. So, as we look into this, we're going to build two... I want to say we're going to build 2 builds. Probably going to stick to 3. First off, I'm going to take Eternal Hunger and I'm going to build a Frostborn build. Then I'm going to take Frost Presence and build a Frost Presence build. And then we'll kind of discuss the third build next, or at level 4 when we're looking at those talents, because that's where that one's really going to start. So, with Frost Presence, you're wanting to hit heroes. So, if you're successfully hitting heroes, it's good. Eternal Hunger, you're wanting to hit heroes. If you're successfully hitting heroes, it's good. Block, bleh. You should never want to take block. You might every once in a while have to take it, but you should never want to take it. At level 4, Frozen Wastes. Frozen Tempest mana cost is reduced by 3 per second. So, starts at 15, drops down to 12 per second. This one will keep you up, keep you doing it longer. Take that out of context all you want. I really don't care. Death Lord. Reduces Death Coil's cooldown by 2 seconds and increases its range by 25. Drops the cooldown down to 7 seconds. Nice little ability for a Death Coil build. That's the third build. We'll get into that when it comes. And Biting Code. Frozen Tempest damage is increased by 30%. We are building Frostborn Hunger, so we're going for damage. I'm going with Biting Cold. We've taken something to give us extra mana, so we don't really have to worry so much about mana. At level 7, Rune Tap. Every third basic attack heals you for 3% of your maximum health. Immortal Coil. You gain the healing effect of Death Coil even when you use it on enemies. If you damage an enemy hero, you also heal an additional 100% of the damage dealt. Icebound Fortitude. Activate to reduce the amount of damage you take and reduce your effect, or the effect of CCs on you. This one's kind of a hard one. Icebound Fortitude, I don't like it. You know how I feel about defensive, like these types of defensive talents. If you have to take them, you take them, but you should never look forward to taking them. But it does actually kind of, with block and Icebound Fortitude, you do kind of get some nice little defense there for a couple of seconds. The real question comes into Rune Tap versus Immortal Coil. So, we have 8,000 health right now. So, without doing too much math, that's 3% of 1,000 is 30. So 30 times 8 comes out to what, like 240? That can't be right. No, that seems about right. So yeah, 240 damage every third hit. You have a attack speed of 1 per second. So, death coil, currently 9 seconds, but it also costs 50 mana. We're going to remove the mana costs because you're probably going to be casting death coil anyway. So, Rune Tap. 3 consecutive hits, so every third attack, 3 seconds. So 3 times 3, 240, times 3 goes up to blah blah blah, 720. Immortal Coil heals you for a minimum of 700 or 500 every time you cast it. We are talking level 30. So 500 every time you cast it. If you hit an enemy hero, heals you by an extra 700. So yeah, the awkwardness comes in here. Rune Tap plus Immortal Coil versus Immortal Coil plus Immortal Coil. So when you're stacking this up, if you hit an enemy hero with a Death Coil, you will heal more than if you took Rune Tapped and then Immortal Coils yourself. Sorry, I swapped that around. It's 700 health and then 500 if you hit an additional 500 if you hit an enemy. So no, actually no. Rune Tap if you can hit 3 times. Immortal Coil is ranged, however. You see the dilemma with this talent, or with this choice. So if you're tanking, Rune Tap is the best one currently. You can take points, or you can take other talents that will improve your Immortal Coil, which will improve how much it heals. So we're going to take Rune Tap just because this build, you're punching people a lot because of Frostmourne Hungers. I spent way too long on that talent. Doesn't matter. We'll take Sindragosa. Doesn't matter for this build. At level 13, Trail of Frost. Increase your Howling Blast's range by 30%. Causes it to root enemies between you and your target by 1.5 seconds. Frostmourne Strikes. Reduces Frostmourne Hunger's cooldown by 2 seconds. Frostmourne Hungers also slows enemies by 40% for 1.5 seconds. And Frigid Winds. Frozen Tempest reduces the attack speed of enemy heroes by 8% per second up to 40%. So, if you're against a lot of people who are doing melee, Frigid Winds is great. For this build, Frost Strike is the best because it drops the cooldown. And Trail of Frost is good if you're doing a Howling Blast build.
Excellent.
At level 16, Remorseless Winter. Enemy heroes that remain within your Frozen Tempest for 3 seconds are rooted for 2 seconds. This effect can only happen once every 10 seconds. It's once every 10 seconds per hero, not once every 10 seconds, period. Frostmourne Feeds. Basically, Frostmourne Hungers double tap. And Enhanced Coil. Death Coil deals 20% more damage for every 10% of life you are missing. For this build, we're taking Frostmourne Feeds.
Soon.
And then at level 20, for this build, I'd probably go with whatever your heroic ability is. His 2 new heroic abilities are Death Advance. Passively increase your movement speed by 10%. Activate it to increase this bonus to 30%. So you're just short of outrunning a mount at this point, but you can catch up to people. Actually, I pull back what I just said. This is the talent for... I feel dumb saying this. This is the better talent for this build. It allows you to get up on people, allows you to drop your D on them over and over again. And then his final talent is Anti-Magic Shell. Activate to reduce damage from your ability or from abilities by 100%. You also heal yourself for 25% of the damage that you would have taken. So this is a lot like the other defensive talents. I don't like it, but hell, if you have an enemy team that has a lot of people that are capable of sniping you, I mean, just imagine. Nova tries to triple tap you and you drop anti-magic shell on that. That'll keep you up for a while. So yeah. This could be great defensively. I don't like having to take defensive talents. So if you have to take it. But if you don't have to, I'd probably avoid it. So, Death Advance, just increase movement speed. So just kind of demonstrate this a little bit. Simple enough. Walks through just like an old memory. And if he tries to outrun you, you can just chase him down. Gonna activate the cooldown removal real quick. So I only need one more. Actually, I'll just remove this again. So, as you can see, Frostborn Hungers is now up, so it now does 125% damage. Which is a pretty significant amount of damage. And he's dead. Reset forts and reset pallets. So, for this build, we're going to go with the Frost Presence. Now, this one we don't have the mana. Like, we don't have as much mana from Hunger as we'd like. So I'd actually go, I'm going to go with Frozen Wastes. Again, with this one, it's Rune Tap or Immortal Coil. Immortal Coil doesn't have to be at range. Immortal Coil has range, Rune Tap is melee. Take your choice. 10, we'll take 7 Cindergosa again, doesn't really matter for this build. At 13, Trail of Frost increases the range of Howling Blast by 30%. Which is nice. 30% range, yeah. And since we've already decided this is going to be a good thing to build with, yeah. At level 16, Remorseless Winter is actually the one I'd probably go for. That way you're doing a drop Howling Blast on somebody, and then you walk in and you stand there and freeze them. And then at level 20, this one, I would probably go with whatever. Legion of the North or Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero is a little better for this build because we are working with a lot of slows and roots. So, do note, Howling Blast will shoot a pass. Just because it hit him on the way doesn't count as a hit for the talent to reset it. We'll just drop that here. So as you can see with this build, not quite as strong, but much more CC heavy. So if you have a team, this is a great one to make yourself a nice little CC tank. Reset those. And finally, this one, I'm going to go with Eternal Hunger just because it gives us mana. And mana is nice. We're going with the Death Lord into Coils, into Army of the Dead. Here, this really kind of becomes, what do you need more? I'm normally going to go for Frigid Wind in this case. Lowers attack speed, and you're getting up, sorry. Oof. I don't know what that was. It lowers attack speed, which means you're going to take less damage. And this build is pretty big into just a self-heal build. However, Trailing Frost and Frost Strike are also both very competent. So here, basically just take whatever you need. At level 16, Embrace Death. And at level 20, Legion of Northrend. Unless they have a lot of mages and then anti-mage shell. I don't like anti-mage shell. We've kind of discussed this. Defensive talents, blah, blah, blah. It works for this build because this is a healing build. The idea of this build is that you're naturally tanky, so you're just going to heal yourself. Legion of the Northrend's also great for that because you can sacrifice your ghouls to heal yourself. 800 plus, 800 health plus additional 50% puts that into 1,000 health per, versus Anti-Magic Shell, which is giving you health for every spell you absorb. That's kind of a tough choice. We're going with Legion of Northrend here, because their Arthas don't even have no spell that you can use on us.
Indeed.
So, just to kind of discuss what this build can do. We're going to take a lot of damage real quick. We're at below 1,000. Oh, we're at 1,000 now. And I just healed for 2,000. Now, every time I hit him, I'm going to heal by less. Because I'm doing extra damage because I have so much health. Or I'm missing so much health. But I'm still, even at full health, put myself at full health. I can't tell. Even at basically full health. Hit me with something, somebody. Even at basically full health, I'm still healing by over 500. So to demonstrate this a little bit, I need to lose a lot more health. So that's just sadly how this works. We'll turn on. So if I hit anybody, I'll heal myself by the cast on yourself healing amounts. However, if I hit a hero specifically, when it comes back, I will heal by the cast on yourself healing amount plus the damage amounts. The problem is that it doesn't. It's not an instant cast. So where it used to just be an instant health, you not have to wait for it to return. It's not really that big a deal, but those couple of seconds can be the difference between life and death. But yeah, with this build so far, like, just take a bunch of damage from towers. And remember, you start off with a 17.3 regeneration at level 30. Like, so you're already healing pretty well. So, from almost dead, pretty good, just from one, we go in. I don't have rune tap, so it's not really going to help a lot hit him. However, I can just eat, and instead of wasting an extra ghoul, I'll heal myself with the Q. And as you can see, like, yeah, a couple of seconds, I've done 12,000 damage and healed myself from virtually nothing to full. So yeah, that's the point of this build. This build, much more of a solo build, because you don't have to rely on people so much, because you can heal yourself. You're tanky, but you're also a healer, and you have the potential to do some devastating death coils. And those ghouls are just really great for sieges, because you just kind of walk in and you're like, hey, like, I don't like this town. As you can see, like, they last just long enough for you to be able to take out the tower. Now, if you would have gone with the Frostmourne Hunger's build, suitable. Let's see, we want damage here with the army.
A useful trinket.
You'd have a very similar result. Fresh cooldown, where you come in, drop it. Now, with this build, you're doing more damage, but you do have a lot less potential for healing. You can still heal off of your goals, but just not nearly as much.
So be it.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave you here. I hope this was fun. I hope this was informative. And maybe all you people who think that Arthas was the worst character ever will give him a second chance. Have a nice day.